Let's go. It's episode 100, everybody. Welcome back to At Face Value. I'm Brian with Lucas, Michael, and Will. Back at it again for episode 100. So appreciate everybody sticking around that's been watching through 100 episodes. Been a little hiccups here and there, but we keep trucking on. We keep doing the thing, and we're back at it again this week. We're going to talk a little bit of everything, including our first college football preview, talking group of six. So that's why I had to rep my Bobcats today. So
That's right.
we're rolling on. So appreciate everybody being here. So as we do every other week, let's roll into our hugs and hikes. So Lucas, get us rolling.
Yeah, so my hug is gonna go to I'm gonna give it to Spain, man. What an unbelievable run in this tournament. Obviously the best team. Um, their defensive record was just phenomenal. Gave up one goal all tournament, and that was to Belgium. A freak header. Complete domination in the final. If anybody sat down and watched it, I don't know, Will, if you got to watch it, but
Whole thing, baby.
yeah, I mean, dude, honestly, kind of a boring match for you to watch. But if you ever see domination like that, like you can appreciate what they do, right? You just saw how much more fluid they were on the ball compared to Argentina. Where Argentina tried to press the hell out of them. They really did. They were just too clinical and were just passing around every single press. And that's what they did all tournament. A lot of people are lauding their defense, which is pretty good. But it's their midfield. That's where the game has been won, right? They're just controlling the midfield where Argentina could barely string two, three passes together before the midfield just kind of wreaked havoc and turned the ball over and just started pressing forward again. So, yeah, shout out to Spain, Mikel Merino and David Raya, two Arsenal players. Up, I guess Martin Zubamendi as well, who actually came on late in that game. Although Raya, who's arguably the best goalkeeper in the world, isn't even the starter, um, which is pretty nuts for Spain. That's how deep they are as well. So yeah, hug to Spain. If anybody saw the shots of the streets of Madrid, flares going off everywhere, just an absolute madhouse. It looked like if Philly won the
Anything?
anything in
Yeah,
the NBA
anything.
Finals. I guess you've seen it with the Eagles a few
Eagles.
years.
The Super Bowl.
Um, but yeah, it was pretty rowdy. So shout out to Spain. Great tournament. Sad that it's over, but yeah.
Absolutely. Well, what you got?
Y'all could probably guess who my hug's going out to. I didn't know if Lucas was going to do it, but I
I
figured
left it for
maybe
you.
he was going to let me have it because I like to give the track shout outs on this podcast. So, yeah, my hug's going out to Josh Kerr. What he did at the Diamond League in London, man, broke Hickam El Guerrouj's world record in the mile. The mile is not ran that often. It's not an Olympic event. It's not a world championship event. So it's not really contested at a high level unless you're going out to do these kind of world record attempts. He broke it by over half a second. He ran 3:42.66. Yes, he had a pacer, but the last lap and a half, it was all gut by himself because he had nobody pushing him. And the more impressive thing about this is that he said he was going to make this attempt in March. Like he's been proclaiming that he was going to do it on at this meet on this day. This is what he's been training for. That's very ballsy. I think the guy, if y'all watched the broadcast, he even said this is the ballsiest world record attempt that you could do to spend 5 months saying you were going to do it. I've watched a lot of world record attempts. Very few actually even come close, much less actually break a world record. Especially whenever you announce it, you get all the eyes on you. He wanted eyes on the sport. He wanted eyes on this event in a year where there's not an Olympics, there's not a World Championship. So pretty much the Diamond League season and the Diamond League final is all you really get in an off year track. So um, you also don't see a lot of people going for world record attempts in an off year because they don't always ramp up their training to the highest level. Yeah, I mean, not saying they not to the, but it's not. There's not a super big goal at the end of the year. So, um, but it was awesome. I told you I watched the race 5 times back to back to back. Jaw got lower and lower every time. Um, That's unbelievable fitness. The splits are unfathomable. If you break him down, I think Lucas sent us one of it's the 100-meter breakdowns. Just rep them one after the other.
Will, you ran collegiately an 800 meter in college. This dude split a 151 in the first 800 of this thing. How hard is it to run a 151? Just how many people,
Luke,
like percentage of people do you think could do that?
Lucas, I wasn't world class. I was decent. I was decent enough to make a final in the Southland every year. I've ran two races faster in my life than he split in this race
And he had the other half of the race to
to
go.
go
Yeah.
to go.
It's
Jeez.
it's just it's unfathomable. What's also crazy is if you had to guess like for like a distance race, like just across the whole world, like what do you think's the most commonly run? I feel like the mile is probably like everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna go run a mile. I'm gonna go run a mile today. Like how many times do people run this and how long did it take for this to get broken? It's been years.
Oh, Hickam El Garouche was probably almost 30 years ago when he
Yeah,
set this record.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And I also think that this guy was confident enough that he had probably broken the record or came very close a few times before, where he was just like, "Yeah, I got this." Like in training, he was probably getting pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, you do train to a certain extent, but like you don't really go run training races. Like you break it down into sections.
Yeah,
So, I mean, in a sanctioned race where like you can get times, I think this beat his PR by like over 2 seconds. I mean, it
yeah,
was, and he also set the national record for the 1500 en route. So like you can count his 1500 split as a record because he technically ran a 1500 too.
and had
So
100 to go.
he broke his national record and had 109 meters to go. Yeah. Because the
It's
mile's
wild, man.
1609 meters, so it's even that much more. But yeah, hug to Josh Kerr. Amazing race. Amazing race.
I'm trying to run a 6, by the way.
Yeah.
So
I'd love to run an 8. I mean, I'm chilling.
Yeah, that my fastest mile time or fastest 1600 time is a smooth 40 seconds slower than this cat.
that's still moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what's crazy too, Lucas. You're saying you're trying to get a 6. So just imagine like you get through your first lap and and 20 seconds later he's already finishing his second lap. Like like
Yeah,
he's about to lap you in lap 2 because he's freaking flying. Like
I've gotten a 6:17 is where I'm at right now. So
yeah.
I'm gonna get it, but like just thinking how hard that is and just trying to compare it to what that guy did is
I love that y'all are doing that because that's the
unbelievable.
best way to really conceptualize it if you're not in the track. Because like, oh, you see this time, you're like, oh, that seems really fast. But like when you compare it to an everyday person, like
Yeah,
it's like I said, it's unfathomable how hard that is
it's
to do.
stupid.
It's
Yeah.
it's very, very, very impressive. I'm sure it'll probably get broke again because of the way the times that are coming in the track and field world.
Yeah.
But that's not to take away from what he did. It's unbelievable to see.
Michael?
Yeah, my hug's it's kind of a sad one. We're one step closer to a complete end of an era. Hugs to Lance McCullers. One of the last three. I know he hadn't done anything. Stop. This is emotional. This is completely about nostalgia and feel, right? Like he's not done anything for Houston in a hot minute. But end of like he was one of three people left on the team from 2017. It's Altuve, Correa's back, and then it was McCullers. I know McCullers hadn't been able to pitch. He's been injured for a hot minute. It's a farewell hug because that run from really 2015 through
19.
2022 when he really went on the shelf for the last time. We really haven't seen him since then. Is by far the best baseball like I've ever watched Houston play for a stretch. You can talk about 2005 when they had, that team was built completely different. That was all primarily through a lot of big free agent signings. You had
Pitching.
Clemens and Pettit, and you had some homegrown talent like Berkman and Oswalt and Biggio and Bagwell were in the twilight of their careers. But I remember in 2012 when Correa and McCullers were drafted together in the same draft, and it's like, all right, we've got something to look forward to. And like the on-field product in Houston sucked, but watching like the box scores for the minor league stuff come in from 2012 until what 2016, 2017 when they made their debut. So like it was, I remember our group chats back then. It was really what we held on to was like, when's the prospect list come out and how's it look? And so unfortunate the way that the last 5 years really kind of panned out for him. That contract was pretty brutal. You can't predict injuries like that. I hate it for him. That dude was ride or die for Houston every time he took the mound, especially in pressure situations. That dude was absolutely insane. Just nails, ice through his veins. 27 straight curveballs to the Yankees, and they knew it was coming and couldn't do anything with it. So they can talk about their 27 championship trophies all they want, but 27 curveballs from Lance McCullers. And that series is something I'll always remember. So sad to see him go. We're getting closer and closer to a really actual end of an era. But glad Houston was able to shed some salary on that and free up some stuff going forward.
Yeah, I guess it is nostalgic a little bit, but it was a hard pill to swallow towards the end of his career, just how much injury and what he
Yeah.
was making per year, all that stuff. Um, I don't think Milwaukee has HEB for
No,
his commercial spot.
they sure don't.
Um, so,
I mean,
but
realistically, how many innings does he pitch for Milwaukee this year?
he already did. He pitched tonight, I believe.
Did he really?
Yeah,
Oh,
supposedly
he already made.
he had a 1, 2, 3 first. That's all I saw.
Well, I'll be dang.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for him.
He threw 3 innings, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, and they won 8-3.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, like you said, ride or die for Houston. I appreciated that. Like he went up to bat for us when the whole allegation stuff was going on. He had his grills, all that stuff. So
He was fun
yeah,
to watch. That dude was fun to watch when he was, 2017, 18, 19, 20, like during that stretch, and then we got to 22, and then the wheels
yeah.
just fell off. Um, but
For a
yeah,
while, he did have some dog in him for sure. Like
oh yeah, he was
he was a
about it
dog
every
on the
game.
mound. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, for a while, like he was like the consistent piece, and
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, and then just all fell to pieces. So no, I do agree. It's definitely nostalgic, and it kind of shows you what point we are because they always talk about how many players are left. So now you're down to, I mean,
Well,
one
it's
and a half really. I mean, because Correa was gone for a while and then came back. So
yeah, it's that saying like you don't realize you're in the good times until the good times are gone, and then you think about the good times. Like that's one that's like, I've got I've got the Blu-ray set from the 2017 World Series. That's something like I'll always have to have a Blu-ray player around so I can throw that thing in and cry myself to sleep. But
I still got
yeah.
my rally towel from the game 5 I went to that year. So
dude,
All time classic.
the amount of times I turned that
yeah,
game off and on and off and on and off and on is ridiculous.
yeah.
Yeah.
Try sitting there watching Dallas Keuchel get absolutely rocked, and then Luke Gregerson comes in, and you're like, oh god, we're selling the bag. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy stuff. Well, I was gonna give my hug to Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So wanted to kind of give him a shout out. Comes out on Fox, never been in the studio before, comes out. I thought he and Thierry Henry did a great job, like with analysis and just their knowledge of the game and just being able to break down things in a different way and kind of shut out Alexis Lawless as much as possible. So I thought they did a great job of just really owning the stage. And then after the World Cup final, Zlatan says, "This was fun, but I'm done. I'm not coming. I'm retiring from the studio." So he's a one and done guy. So I mean, I thought it was kind of cool, like just the like I said, the analysis he did, and I thought he and Thierry Henry did a great job together. So kind of cool. But shout out to him for he understands. Well, I mean, his ego wouldn't let him become bad before walking away. So I think he's going out while America still likes him, and then he won't be back. So we'll see.
He'll be back in 4 years. He had a quote. It
Yeah.
says, "It's not the World Cup unless Zlatan's at the World Cup,"
Did you
and
see his
so
quote too, where he
he'll
was
be
like,
back for on the broadcast in 4 years.
I said Spain was gonna win before the tournament started, and when I say things are gonna happen, things are gonna happen.
I do love how he fully like leaned into like just his ego, right? Like it's like
Yeah.
the running joke. Like he really just leaned into it and had fun with it. It was
Dude,
fun.
Yeah.
but he's been that his entire career, man.
Yeah.
It is like if you go back and look at clips whenever he was at like Juventus and like all over, he was literally just like a head case his entire career. But he was so good, like you couldn't really say anything about it.
Yeah.
And reading about him and his upbringing, like how rough it was,
Hmm.
that dude earned everything that he's gotten. Like he went and took it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, little World Cup news. What about a hike, Lucas? What you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go my hike to the uh the Open Championship. I don't know if you guys saw the two-stroke penalty that Bryson DeChambeau got. Um, so I was following it on Friday. I was like, "Oh, DeChambeau's finally gonna make a cut. Let's go." He ends up birdieing 17 and 18, ended up seven under, one behind the leader. I wake up on Saturday morning looking to go watch the final pairing. Um, and Bryson's not there, and he's five under. So I'm like, what happened? How is this even possible? Like, did he double bogey one and it's not updated? Come to find out, a rules panel gave him a two-stroke penalty for improving his lie when he's in this tall grass and he's just walking over his ball, where people do that all the time. But obviously, the PGA, I feel like, wants to make a statement with this guy because he's with Live and he's kind of the bad boy of golf. He does his own YouTube channel, does his own monetary thing, whatever. Wears his logo on his polos, all this stuff. But I mean, I've seen multiple clips of other golfers doing literally the exact same thing. And then I also saw there's also a rule or regulation that the the USGA can't use video evidence to go back and penalize somebody. So I don't know what's going on, but it's just crazy how, um, I mean, surely that got in his head, which it's not that hard to do for him anyway, I guess, because he can't figure out how to make a cut anyway. But he ended up like quadruple bogeying on Sunday and ended up super far back. But yeah, it's just a crazy look. I mean, golf's supposed to be about like the rules and the pageantry of the game, and I don't know, it's just kind of weird they use that as a
It
pedestal to put this guy on. I don't know, it's just weird.
it feels vindictive.
Yeah, very, that's a
Yeah.
great adjective, man. Yes. um yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah, it's a
So
shame too, because like you said, he wasn't playing well at all, and then finally he gets it going a little bit, and then he gets hit with that, and it's just
I
all
mean, dude, he's a
downhill.
stroke off the lead and playing really
Yeah.
well finally.
Yeah.
And I mean,
which
there's
is
people,
surprising on a links course.
yeah, but yeah, just really weird. And yeah, the PGA or US Open can take a hike for that. The rules guy.
Always find a way. There's always a loophole in the rules.
Yeah.
What about you, Will? What you got?
So let's see how deep this can get. My hike's going to offsides in general because we got to find a damn way to get all of our offsides on the same page here. Um, and we just got to use some logic with this, guys. That stupid ass green wall that pops up to show that offsides in the Spain Argentina game. The man's entire torso and body is on the one side of the green wall. He is raising his arm to start running and get his momentum going, and that makes him offsides. He's leaning. He is leaning over to take off running, and his arm, half his forearm is through the green wall, or shoulder, whatever. It was 3% of his body, and that was offsides. I know it's the rule. Logically, it makes no sense. But I digress because that irritated me. And then I thought, well, let me make this a broad offsides hike because in our beloved game of football, we don't do a very good job of doing the offside thing either. Because even though, so on regular defensive offsides, if any part of your body in the neutral zone is in the neutral zone, you are offsides, which would be pretty similar to what soccer does with their offsides, except they use a really crazy VAR or whatever you would call that crap to figure it out. Which brings me to, it's not called offsides, but when a quarterback passes the line of scrimmage, that would technically also be like being offsides. But in that rule, you can have your shoelace on the other side of the line and you're not offsides. 99.9% of your body can be of the line, but as long as your toe sticks back, you're not offsides. So, on the broad spectrum here, we got to figure out it's one way or the other. Which I guess that means the way I'm leaning is if everybody else is going to be, if your nose hair crosses, you're offsides. The quarterback got to be on the right side of the line of scrimmage because having all this crap different makes no sense. Even though I want to lean with the quarterback side, but that doesn't make sense for the defense in football. So I'm conflicted here. I don't think there's different rules. So offsides in general can take a hike. But the one in the championship game was stupid.
So
Dude,
the
and that
rule,
wasn't even the worst one in the tournament. Like there
I
was
know,
one earlier
but
in the
I
tournament where it's
know.
literally a toe. Like
so the rule is any part of your body that you're allowed to score or touch the ball with. So like if it's shoulder, you can touch the ball with your shoulder. You just can't like pretty much elbow down. So that can be offside. That's fine. Dude, there's
It
been
was.
there's been literal millimeters. I'm not
I
kidding. Like
I know.
toes.
I know there has, and I know it's the rule. It just
That
made me have a broad thought of it all.
that's where you start getting into the spirit of the rule.
And that's the thing. Like the spirit of the rule is you don't want the offense to be in an advantageous position. Like that's like the wording of the rule. Like if you can't just stand there and just wait and have the defense go out and you're just hanging out there. That's what they don't want.
Yeah.
But Arsene Wenger, was Arsenal's head coach for a very long time, and now he's with FIFA, like somewhere in the administration or something. He's advocating big time that it's going to be opposite, like the quarterback. So any part of your body that can score um, has to be onside, and the rest of your body can be offside, kind of like the quarterback rule. They're talking about doing that to promote more goal scoring opportunities and things like that. But Will, before this, literally, dude, it's almost like the spotter in soccer. Like the spotter in football is how soccer would do the offsides. You'd literally have a dude or a chick running down the freaking sideline with the flag, and they just have to guess. They would just guess, dude. And so, like, you literally don't know. You have to time it perfectly. It was
See, and
so
I
that
think that's why I think sometimes instant replay screws us because logically watching that play, he got punished for having a faster twitch motion than the defenders. And whenever the screen comes up, okay, it's yes, by rule, I understand what the rule is, so I understand they had to call what they called. But watching that live, it wasn't like, oh my God, that was offsides.
But Will, again, as you watch more soccer, like there's nuances where defenses will literally play what they call an offside trap, where they all move in unison forward to make the person be offside to not let it like.
Yeah,
So there's literally a bunch of different
it's
nuances to play the rule.
I hear what you're saying. Well, there's times where it feels like when baseball first got instant replay, and all of a sudden we're challenging these plays where guys are sliding through a
And
base, and they come off just for a half second, but it's enough to like, oh no, he's out, and it's like, what? That's not really what like
the
why we.
intention.
Yeah, that wasn't the intention behind instant replay in baseball. It's not, but it's not what it's turned into.
Yeah,
And
it's
so,
fair.
like, it to me, I don't disagree with you. I kind of feel the same way that there's times where it feels like, okay, I get offsides and I get the offsides trap. I understand some of that, but when you're, an inch, you're just because you're leaning, like your torso's leaning.
He was just faster.
Yeah, your foot hadn't even moved.
Both
You're just
defenders were
leaning.
also turning. They were just slower than he was.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
to me it should be about feet, right? Because you can't move without your feet, but you can lean. You can hinge at the hip. I don't.
there was in our group chat we had a really good comparison too about penalties. You can say the same thing about penalties. Like if you're just in the box, your back is away from goal and you have the ball and you get fouled, like are you really do you really have a true goal scoring chance? Like you have no shot to even have a shot on target, but if the penalty happens in the box, you get a shot from 6 yards out that you're 80% likely to score. The parallel with that with football is the same thing in the NFL where you have a 60-yard bomb and PI happens in the end zone. Oh, you get the ball at the 1. Like
On a
what?
on a 50 if on what they call a 50-50 ball, which is not really 50-50 at all.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the same concept, right? What are the odds of scoring at the 1 yard line on first and goal? Pretty high. It's just like a penalty, and they had no shot, or they had a small chance of out jumping this dude, and a PI happens where it's just a coming together. It was an accident, but they call it. It's kind of very similar to the same thing with penalties, which is frustrating as a soccer fan and as a football fan, which is why I don't really watch the NFL anymore because I hate the spot foul with PIs. It's beside the point, but yeah,
Yeah.
So that's a whole other discussion.
yeah.
Well, I'm going to give a hike to the third place game of the FIFA World Cup. I mean, I know this is kind of an argument, but I don't understand the reasoning behind being, well, I guess it's money, but like it just for me, like to have to lose in the semifinals and still be forced to hang around and play another game. Now, granted, the game was insane because England goes up 4-0 in the first half, and then France almost comes all the way back, ends up losing 5-3. I mean, it was just a
6-4.
6-4,
oh,
dude.
6-4 is what the final ended up being. That's right. Just like absolutely insane. Like it was just back and forth and just, but then it's like, what's the whole purpose behind this game besides money? I mean, like I know, like for reference, like when for softball, like we went in the semifinals to go to the state championship. They didn't make the two semifinals go play. They gave both losers the third place trophy or the third place medal. They said, "Here, you're both just third place," and you just move on. But like, not to say that FIFA should give both France and England both third place medals, but like, let's just move on. Like, your goal was to win the World Cup, and you didn't win the World Cup. So like, let's just play the one game that matters.
So I think the difference here though too is so the where you finish in the FIFA World Cup depends on your payout. So like the third place team got paid more money than the fourth place team. So the English players got, I don't know, $1 million each more or something. And that's the only way. So again, it comes down to money at the end of the day. Um,
Yeah,
but it's not just like, oh, here's a bronze medal. Like they actually get like a financial reward for playing and winning that game. So, but that's the only other thing. It is pointless
like
though. As a competitor, I'd be like, hell no. Like I don't want to do this.
I'll say, nobody on France must have cared about that except Mbappe. Who, like,
Golden boot, yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. Just wild to me that just the fact that they even go through that. But I mean, I guess it makes sense in that aspect too. If you're trying to get a little more of a payout on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah. So speaking of the World Cup, like Lucas said earlier. Oh, Michael, hey, you're still here. Sorry, I didn't
No,
hear
you're
the
good.
wind.
You're good. Sorry.
Go ahead. What's your hike, Michael?
My hike, we're going to stick with the soccer kind of theme on the hike. And if y'all brought this up in the past, I apologize to all the listeners who are going to have to rehear it. My hike is the way that we here in the United States have handled youth and development soccer and the structure or lack thereof versus other countries in Europe, how academy systems here in the U.S. do not do a good job of making it easy to get your best potential talent in there to play. I don't like. I hear the argument about how, and I don't really buy it anymore. It's probably a lazy one that I used to buy. That like, oh, if all of our best athletes play, like if we didn't have football and baseball, like we'd smoke everybody in soccer.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
like
we
there's some of
would.
that, but then
We
you look at
would
Messi, who's like 5'6". I mean, he's Altuve out there, legitimately Jose Altuve playing soccer.
for sure.
Like we have taken the cheapest and easiest sport to play in the entire world, and we've made it the most expensive youth sport to play in the United States. You disagree with that?
Dude, volleyball is the same price. Club volleyball,
No.
club baseball. Dude, you know how much kids pay for travel
Yeah,
ball?
because I
And
get it. Yes,
that
soccer's
includes
more expensive.
a $400 bat. You have a $400 glove that you buy every year. You have
Yeah,
some cleats, and then you still have to pay to be on a travel ball. It's the same price, dude. It's
I
all the same.
I disagree.
It's all the same. It's all about perception, what the kids like, and the kids don't want to play soccer because it's not big in this country. Like
It's
that's
not
what it
big,
is.
but we also don't have the infrastructure here.
I mean, that's fair, but what
Because
infra?
we've monetized it so much. I mean, and to your point, like baseball is like this as well. Like you look at the biggest one I know of is like the Canes, like travel baseball organization, right? And then you've got like a national Canes team, and you've got all these little feeder teams that actually pay all the bills for all the big boys to go play on those, like your nationally ranked baseball players. I've done the same thing with soccer, but it's all like it's up here in a major metro area, it's a lot easier, right, to play some of these soccer tournaments. But like you look at all the travel that they're doing, and I know you have to do it for baseball as well. But I don't know. I feel like it's until we find a way to make it more conducive to get people who are lowering barriers of entry. I feel like the barriers for entry on like high end club soccer, developmental soccer, are higher than they need to be. And part of it, you're right, is interest. Like I don't disagree with that, but is that chicken or egg? Like what comes first? Like are people not interested in it because it is more expensive and it's not like
So
historically?
I worked exclusively with like youth teams in the Austin area, and the best players. It didn't matter how much money they had; they played on the best team if they were the best player, and they got developed that way. They didn't pay for it. What happens is they have lower tiers, and all these like
Yeah,
moms and dads who
they're
want
paying
their
the
kid to
bills.
play on the best club. They're in the lower tiers. They're literally paying for their way to go play in these tournaments and be on this team. So there's things in action. It's just again, if you go to New Orleans, like the kids that are all super crazy good athletes, they're not like, I'm gonna go be a soccer player. They go play basketball or they go play football and shoot. Some of them play baseball, but none of these kids are saying, you know what, I want to go play soccer. Um, and again,
Unless you're in the valley.
I mean, yes, and then they're gonna go choose Mexico
So
as their
Yeah.
national team.
I would pose this question. Christian Pulisic is the number what famous athlete in America? I think that answers the question.
Every 4 years he's top 10.
Yeah,
My
like right now,
okay,
But it's
everybody
only
knows
but it's
him.
only every 4 years. To your point, like I don't disagree with that.
But the
so
Yeah,
same
I
like,
thing,
think
and
that's
that's the
but the same thing is the marketing whole aspect of the marketing thing of it as well, the marketing of each sport. Because Milwaukee had two MVPs in the city, and I guarantee you, 99% of kids can recognize who Giannis is, and none of them can pick out Christian Yelich from a lineup of people. You know what I mean? Like that's the difference.
well, I
Because
mean, but
baseball isn't
I'm
marketed
not
well
even
either.
counting like Giannis because like Giannis isn't American. I'm talking like even American athletes. Where does Pulisic even rank? And he's the number one soccer player we have in America. And he's not even a top 30 American athlete on any given list.
Part of that's because he doesn't ever play over here in the states, and then you have the time issue for like when his games are being played. Like that's that. I mean, that's like if you don't play in the states, it's really easy to go unnoticed and not be popular.
True, but if you watch any type of soccer, you know who he is.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like that's, or if you watch any sports in general, you probably have an idea about who he is.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, there's plenty of athletes that are way more recognizable in the United States than
That are not considered the
Weston
number one.
Weston McKinney. Like,
Yeah. But I mean, to that point, Weston
Who?
McKinney played a lot of soccer in Dallas. Like he
For
played a
sure.
lot of his young career here.
That's where he's
Like
from.
yeah, and so as far as like U.S. soccer is concerned, I think they definitely marketed him more because he was here more for it. Whereas Christian started over at Borussia Dortmund, right? Isn't that where he
Yeah,
started?
he was like 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he moved over there, but
And so like he never played stateside in MLS, and I don't really want people to. Like I think we all agree the caliber of talent is so much better over in Europe. I'd rather them play over there.
and how much of that is a barrier just in itself? Like if you want to be the best, you have to go play in the best league, right?
100%.
As a parent, when my kid turns 12, I'm not gonna be like, all right, buddy, you're going to Arsenal's academy at 12 years old. You're gonna have to go live there, eat there, go to school there, and figure it out,
Yeah.
buddy.
Now
Like it's just
there are a few teams that have, and I know Brian, me and you were talking about this on the phone. A couple of European clubs have actually made like put in academies here at stateside.
oh yeah, they have partnerships with MLS teams too,
Yeah,
right? And that like Arsenal is in with the Colorado Rapids because Stan Kroenke owns them, and so
yeah.
Arsenal and them have a working relationship. But again, they have
I just want
MLS
to,
Next as well, which is like the
yeah,
academy teams for each MLS team, which is free for kids to play if you're good enough. But that's the thing, you have to be good enough. But again, how many kids want to dedicate from the time they're 5 years old to just continue to play soccer whenever you have Little League baseball in the spring, and then whenever you get to junior high, you start playing football, or shoot, there's tons of kids that play pee wee football, that kind of thing.
yeah,
I was gonna say,
There's
especially like in the South and Midwest. I mean, like when football is so prominent, because like one of the arguments I always hear, like obviously football's king in Texas. One of the biggest arguments I always hear from ads, because I've posed the question like, why isn't soccer more popular? And they're like, because soccer overlaps everything. It overlaps football,
yeah.
basketball, and baseball. And so like you either essentially what it's going to turn into is you're drawing athletes away from other sports that may want to play soccer. Well, if we just don't provide as an option, then we can draw them into whatever sport we want them to play. And so that's where it goes back to the whole marketing aspect of it.
and that's another good point to bring up as well. Like in England, they have like cricket and rugby, but like how many other huge sports are they having to choose from in these other countries, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we have, I mean, in the north, you have hockey to deal with too. Like those kids are playing hockey as well. Lacrosse is starting to grow. Like all these other sports are starting to grow.
Wrestling, MMA, like there's just more
Yeah.
mouths to try to
Yeah,
feed.
pickleball.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want the U.S. to be good at soccer. I'm tired
I,
of getting
absolutely.
blasted in the round of 16. It's not even like not even that we lose in the round of 16, but we just got blasted, right? And then you go
And
Yeah.
watch
that's
you go watch a team like Spain, and like was their like I don't find their brand of soccer that they played in this World Cup sexy, but you have to appreciate the art for what it is because it is the cleanest and most just disciplined soccer I've ever seen playing. Like
well,
they were patient, they didn't take risks, they didn't make mistakes, they just kept chipping away, and it's like God, like there you cannot tell me in a country our size that we cannot find. But I mean, to our point that we're just saying, like we can't find the athletes or people with skill to do that.
We had the conversation last week about like Jimmy Graham. Like the dude didn't play football up to college. He started
Yeah,
becoming a tight end, and he's a Hall of Famer. He was a basketball player. Like you can't tell me that someone like that, like whenever they're a young kid, if they pick up soccer and stick with it, they wouldn't be good. We talked about that like last week, especially in goal, right? Because the keeper is the one who made the big mistake against Belgium that really turned the game on its head. Like we were pushing for an equalizer, and then 3-1, it's just done. You
well,
know?
here's a flashback. Jay Ajayi, former running back for the Miami Dolphins, was a big soccer guy growing up. Like I think he grew up over in Europe and then moved to the States when he was younger. But like he's like, of course, he played soccer growing up, got stateside football immediately.
Yeah.
Boom, and no soccer. Like no
Texas they
more
saw his
soccer.
footwork and they said, you'd be a great football player
Yeah,
when he's playing in the NFL.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I think it probably worked out for him, but it's yeah, and like I don't think it. Like I'm not arguing that. Like you look at the size of people, the average size is probably what 6'1" for your top competitor. Like Erling Haaland's what 6'1", 6'2".
6-2. But
Yeah,
he's
and
he's
so
kind of an anomaly.
he is a freak. But like what I mean is, you don't have a bunch of 6 foot 6'9" LeBron James is running out there. Like I hear a lot of people use it like, well, if we had LeBron James out there in goal, like nobody
Yeah,
that size plays.
he
Like
could play in goal.
could he do? I think he could. I think he's that freak of an athlete, 100%. But you don't like your
Yeah, but
Lithuania and your big Eastern European guys that are basketball players aren't playing soccer.
if you put Tyreek Hill on the wing, bro, like
I don't
what's gonna
disagree.
happen?
That'd be fun.
Like look,
We
Justin
thought we thought we
Jefferson.
had one of those with DeAndre Yedlin about 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah, but you put DeAndre Yedlin and Jordan Jefferson on the field together, like Jordan
Yeah.
Jefferson's gonna make him look stupid.
Freak athletes will always be freak athletes, no matter
Yeah,
what sport you put them in.
exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my hike. I guess mainly the hike is I want us to not like I want us to be good. I want us to dominate. Like I know we could if things just were if there were different priorities in this country from a sports standpoint
Exactly.
because it's
That's just your red, white, and blue
that's
goggles
right.
talking to you,
That's
Michael.
right.
That's
Yeah.
all. That's all.
I plead red, white, and blue, baby.
We did it in hockey. Why can't we do it in freaking soccer, dude?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I think we've touched on it. Spain won the World Cup.
Yeah.
We're already deep into time. Let's talk a little football before we get rolling too deep. So let's talk about the group of six this week. What was that?
It was Rolling in the Deep by Adele. So
That's a good poll.
Yeah. So talking about the group of six, the sixth conference this year being the Pac-12, added enough teams to be a conference there. So should be an interesting role. I mean, there's teams from each conference that are really kind of up for grabs right now. I mean, I know just looking, I mean, I think James Madison's supposed to be up there again. Boise State's the favorite to win the Pac-12, obviously. I mean, for the most part, I mean, the American Conference. I actually saw a stat that if like the guy he was talking about the 20 like a hypothetical 2014 playoff. He said hypothetically if there was a 2014 playoff going back to when the playoff started, that there's only 2 years in the history that the American Conference wouldn't have had at least one team in the playoff, which is kind of crazy. So just kind of shows you there's talent now. Are there ever legitimate contenders? That's a different conversation, but I mean, I think there's a lot of talent out there. So, I mean, Luke is just starting off. I mean, is there any team you're kind of looking out for this year? Or
yeah, I was just kind of going by conference, right? And you mentioned the Pac-12. I think that's going to be the cream of the crop in the group of six. Um, and so yeah, like you said, Boise State is kind of the one everybody's talking about, but um, you have some pretty decent teams in there too. I mean, Washington State, you have Fresno State, Oregon State has been down the past few years, but they've kind of put a big NIL drive to get their roster back built up to be able to compete. So, and then obviously Texas State coming in too. That should be pretty exciting. I mean, one of the better teams in the Sun Belt, which is a pretty competitive conference for the most part while we were there. Um, so it should be interesting in the Pac-12. I know you mentioned the American. You got Tulane and Memphis who are losing their head coaches to SEC schools, so they're going to have to be replacing quite a bit. But those two schools typically have a decent NIL funding to kind of get some of those transfers in, so they'll be competing as well. Um, I'm curious about Navy, honestly. I want to see what they do. Um, and see how they kind of bounce back. But um, shoot, I forgot about South Florida too. South Florida lost their head coach too to an SEC school. That's
yeah,
three. That's three American schools losing their head coaches to SEC schools, right? Um, Summerall, Florida.
Summerall, Golish,
Golish went to Arkansas,
Auburn,
Auburn, and then the other dude, the South Florida dude, went to Arkansas.
the Memphis guy, Silverfield.
Memphis, Silverfield. That's what it was. Yeah, Memphis beat Arkansas and then hired their coach.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I actually have very little confidence in the American this year. I know Brian just gave the stat, but I think it's gonna be a down year coming out of that conference as far as being the one to make a push to make that 12th playoff spot. Basically because of what Lucas just said. Like that's the three teams that have been at the top of this conference the last few years are in a major rebuild mode. I think it'd be a tough. I mean, looking at Navy's schedule, if they're going to be a cream of the crop in this conference, that's fine. But they're not really playing nobody outside of Notre Dame, who will probably boat
Crush
race them
them.
again. Yeah. So yeah, but if that's your only blemish and you roll through the American, I mean, maybe you could make a run there. But I think the American as a whole is going to be a little down this year. So I'll be looking elsewhere for that group of six representative in the playoff.
Yeah, because that's what I was looking at too. Because like it showed returning production. There's only 5 out of 14 teams in the American that have 50% or more returning production from last year, and the number one team out of all that is Florida Atlantic, who has never really achieved to be up there. I mean, Tulsa. I mean, UTSA is always one to watch out for. I mean, not necessarily as a playoff contender, but they always make a push to win the conference. So I mean, you got a few teams up there that will be decent, but yeah, but I agree with Will. I mean, I don't see them having team, especially now that it's just the one. Here you go. Here's your playoff spot. No matter what. So I'd have a hard time believing that they'd be able to get it.
The only caveat to that is the American across the board has the biggest NIL collectives out of all the group of sixes, right? Memphis is one of the highest paying NIL collectives in the group of six. You got Tulane, so talent wise is going to be there, and that's the one thing. Again, it's going to be a crapshoot about coaching and kind of bouncing back and all that stuff. But um,
M-
go ahead.
Memphis has the best chance to make an impression because of their schedule. Because they
True.
have they have UNLV, who's going to be up there because UNLV didn't go to the Pac-12. They stayed in the Mountain West. I mean, they still
Should
have
win
Dan
it.
Mullen as their coach. I think they're going to be good chance to win that. So you got UNLV, you got Boise State, who we just mentioned as possibly the favorite out in the new version of the Pac-12. You got that plus your own conference. But it's going to be interesting with Charles Huff. I don't know if you guys know Charles Huff. He was at Marshall. He kind of turned Marshall around, and then Marshall kind of acted like they really didn't want him anymore for no apparent reason. So they kind of pushed him out, and he went to Southern Miss. Took a 1-11 Southern Miss team, made him 7-5 in 1 year. Now he's at Memphis, so he's got a track record of quickly rebuilding teams into a winning program. Now he hasn't stayed anywhere. He was at Marshall 2 years, Southern Miss one, so he hasn't been anywhere long enough to really get him to a good, to a 9-win, 10-win team. But the small sample size shows that he might have that in him. So Memphis might be another one to keep an eye on. To Lucas's point, they spend the money, but more of the point of if they win those first two of their first three games against UNLV and Boise, they have set
They got a
themselves up very well.
yeah.
What you think, Michael?
Out of that American, I am most interested to watch UTSA and see how they do. Jeff Traylor has won 3 bowl games in a row. They beat Florida International last year in the First Responder Bowl. And what was it, 3 years ago? Like they were looking really good.
He was getting looks to be the coach at
Yeah,
A&M,
A and
dude.
M. Yeah, there's a lot of people that like who know Texas high school football. They were like, if Jeff Traylor goes to A&M, it could be a problem because his network with Texas coaches was so strong. You know, G.J. Kinney at Texas State is a Jeff Traylor, a quarterback for Jeff Traylor at Gilmer High School. And so I love watching those two go back and forth. I think as Texas State grads, the three of us at least, we're kind of, at some point if Kenny keeps performing, like he's gonna get scooped up. I'm kind of surprised no one's come for Jeff Traylor because I feel like he's done a pretty good job with that UTSA program, especially getting winning 3 bowls in a row, Coastal Carolina, Florida International, and Marshall the last 3 years.
The one thing I will say about him at UTSA, he's been there what 8 years and has had two quarterbacks.
Six
Like
years,
he's been
I
there
think.
6 years and had two quarterbacks the entire time. Like is the Harris dude? Is that his last name?
Yeah.
Is he still there? Like he has to be like I think it was his eighth year.
McCown.
McCown. It was McCown. Harris was
Oh,
before him.
McCown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
McCown is still there.
Oh my God, how? He has to.
I,
I thought there was a 5 for 5 rule coming. 5 to play
I'm
McCown
pretty
hasn't
five.
sure
been there that long, has he?
you
I
guys
don't
are
know.
the Texas, or you guys are more tuned in with those schools than I am.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But he at the last 3 years in the American, he's had them 9-4, 7-6, 7-6. 21 and then 22, he had them 12-2, and then 11-3.
So
So
this will
that
be his fifth. This will be his fifth year, Lucas.
sixth.
So
This will be his 7th year. So he started in 2020. So
Brian's
20.
talking about
Oh,
McCown.
sorry,
McCown,
my
yeah.
bad, my bad.
This will be McCown's fifth year, and he's a junior, of course.
Yeah,
Frank Harris was there for 8 years. I feel like too. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, but consistency at that position is always
it
good
helps. It helps a lot.
for sure.
I prior to being reminded that Memphis, Tulane both lost their head coaches like that. Those would be the two that I'd be looking at out of the group of 6 to really go make some noise. But when you lose a head coach like that, you also lose the best talent because it's going to go. It's either going to go to other schools or it's going to go with the coach that just left. We saw that with John Mateer and the offensive coordinator from Washington State who went to OU. Didn't really pan out. I think the way OU people wanted it to, at least not last year. But I to me Jeff Traylor is one that I like watching UTSA. It's almost a hate watch, being a Texas State alum. But I think it's I have a hard time not rooting for that coach. I think he's everything I've heard about him. My wife's family's from East Texas, and they have all Jeff Traylor. I think coached around Tyler a whole lot, and so they have nothing but nice things to say about him. So I root for the guy. I don't know why. Beyond that,
Yeah.
so that's the I kind of agree. Like, well, I would have agreed that the American would be the conference to watch it come out of because of you've got some more stable names coming out of there, but with the turnover, I don't think we'll see a ton. I kind of agree. I don't think we'll see a ton. It probably is the Pac-12 this year. It's probably Boise. Who's going
Well,
to
I was gonna say like one team I'm kind of interested to see out of the group of 6 would be San Diego State. So they got their new coach last year, overperformed massively, went 9-4. I mean, had a crazy game against North Texas. They ended up losing 49-47. And they got their entire starting backfield coming back as well. So I
Yeah.
think they got a shot to make some noise. And they got a lot of starters. I think they have 60% production in general coming back. So I mean they got a chance to make some noise. I mean, again, it just all depends on these teams. Like a lot of them make noise, but they just don't stay consistent enough, and they lose games. And I mean, we could say that for Texas State every year. Like they look like they start as piecing together, and then they lose a really bad game, or in last year's case, they lost 4 really bad games that put them at 7-5. So
it's also tough in the year and like the age of the portal and NIL, how quickly like you don't really get an opportunity to really build a roster over the course of 3 years and really build it because a lot of that talent is leaving. I would love to see them change that. I don't think it's going to happen. But you're never going to see a Hawaii be a top 10 team again. Like that's never going to happen. I cannot foresee that ever happening again.
It
I don't
can
think
happen. If the resource if there is a backing financially from the alumni and people, any team can do it. Literally any team can do it. But if there's no backing, then it's not going to happen. And I think it's great for the athletes though. Like some people develop later than others, right?
yeah,
Some people are 2, 3 stars coming out of high school, and they go to these small schools, and then they pop, they grow, they hit their growth spurt, they grow into their bodies, and they
get
were
better
able to
coaching.
better coaching, better facilities. They get to go to show how they can compete in the best conferences. I think it's great. I agree. You won't see a Hawaii unless obviously funding is there. But again,
Well,
the
and then
opportunity's there. If they
Then,
if
but then the question, like, is it sustainable or is it a 1 year pop?
I mean, that's why you got to hire the right coach.
Yeah,
Like, it's a different way of coaching. A lot of people in the LSU realm, it's like Brian Kelly. Like, he showed up too late. His style of coaching was building rosters. That's not how it works anymore. You see Signetti, you see Lane Kiffin, you see all these
It's
people
just
going. They know how to scout for talent and what they want that's going to work in their system,
in their
and they
system.
can
Yeah,
they can flip it in a year easily.
yeah,
yeah. So let us not forget the worst historical team of all time just won the national championship because the
Yeah,
coach built a system that seems to work. And it's not, yes, he's getting portal players, but it's not like Indiana's even top 10 in spending in this thing. He's just finding the guys that work for him.
granted, since they're winning, people like winning, and so if they're
The
winning, they're
money
going to
will
start
come. Don't
putting
get me
the
wrong.
money's
The
coming.
money will come. But
Yep,
the roster they built last year was nowhere near the top money spent on a roster.
agreed. Absolutely agree.
doesn't hurt to have Mark Cuban as one of your alums, though.
For
That
sure.
helps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Another team in the group of five that I think it's worth to mention is Liberty, another big spender in the NIL game. Um, I mean, they open with James Madison, so that right there is going to tell us a lot about which direction both of those teams are going to be headed. Because if you go look at both of their schedules the rest of the way,
Dude.
it's pretty light.
Conference
Um,
USA
Yeah,
just stinks.
oh, it's so
just so
bad.
bad.
I I I know Liberty's crashed of parties a couple times. They kind of snuck through there, but I mean, a team would have to go essentially undefeated, but all these teams are going to play some big time school and get the living piss beat out of them
Yeah,
I mean, Kennesaw State got the best record in the conference in their second year of D1 football.
after
for sure.
going 0 for the year before, right? They didn't win a single game the year
Yes,
before.
they were the feel good story in the new NCAA football game because like everybody wanted to start a dynasty with Kennesaw
Yeah,
State.
I don't know. I don't blame you for throwing them out though. I just think Conference USA is
It's
booby
awful.
cheeks.
But I think
Yeah,
if they have a win early on against James Madison and James Madison runs the table or has one or two losses
Yeah.
in the Sun Belt, that makes their schedule look a little bit better. And obviously,
Oh yeah.
I feel like
I
James Madison is held in decently high regard after they made a playoff. Granted, shouldn't have last year.
I digress. I didn't realize Liberty didn't schedule a freaking thing on this
Dude,
schedule.
it's awful.
Holy
no,
It's
cow.
awful. Like
yes,
they should run the
That
table.
is the two games they scheduled out of conference are
Delaware,
James Madison. No, Delaware's in their conference.
uh,
It's James Madison, Coastal Carolina, and Ball State.
a map.
Really, re really just looking for a signature win on that schedule.
Yeah,
My goodness.
Don't forget about Powerhouse Gardner Webb. Okay, serious school.
oh
Gardner
Oh,
God,
Webb.
yeah.
that's a big yikes.
That's how much they meant to me. I just glossed right over them.
But do you blame them though? Because the committee obviously
It set themselves up for it, man.
the committee values wins, just win.
They,
Like if you
they
go undefeated, you're in the conversation.
Yeah, but this is almost like the Miami, Ohio in basketball this year of like, yeah,
Yes,
they're undefeated, so you got to put them in, but man, do they stink.
They still got in, dude. Like that's the thing. Like
And man, did they stink.
for sure,
yeah.
absolutely, 100%. I'm not disagreeing one bit. But the committee kind of set that precedent
I,
already.
I know.
And that's kind of the argument too. Is like if it comes down to it at the end of the year, and it's Liberty's 12-0 and James Madison's 11-1, who's getting into the playoff?
Liberty.
Yeah,
See,
that's
and that's where I'd have a hard time buying into that because
What I'm saying is that's who's getting in the way the committee
no,
set it
I
up.
know,
Because
yeah,
obviously, like the whole Texas argument last year, if Texas plays the team from Ohio without the state in it at the first game of the season, they're a playoff team.
yes,
So
or
you're not
Miami,
getting,
Ohio, or
yeah.
yeah. No, I know what Liberty's doing, and if I'm not mistaken, whenever Hugh Freeze was still the coach, they were doing the same thing, right? He was scheduling nobodies, just trying to
yes,
get good records.
But the way the committee's setting it up, like you're seeing all these big schools cancel these home and homes with other Power Five. LSU just
It
announced today they
sucks.
canceled the Arizona State series in 29 and 30 because, and instead they're scheduling Louisiana Tech, UL Monroe, Northwestern State. Like they're scheduling these teams, and they're scheduling them in week 0, and so these teams are doing that so they can get an extra bye. So there's a statement, or the rules state if you play a week 0 game, you get 2 byes. If you don't, you only get 1 in the season. So all these
Mhm.
teams are going to be starting earlier next year to be able to accommodate that extra bye. So all these teams in these group of 6 schools are going to be playing these tough games week 0 just to get
Which
curb
again,
stomped and get a paycheck.
well, I was gonna say, and that comes back again to what we've been talking about earlier, is the money, because now they get that big paycheck, and here we got blown out, but here's your $800,000 or 1 point whatever $1 million just
Yeah,
to play the game.
but I think you're gonna see a trend here if like any of these schools start continuously winning or having a chance to make that playoff. Like Boise State's not scheduling any of these type of games anymore. It's gonna be your UMasses of the world are just gonna play nothing but they're going to lose 3 games a year by 60 points each game and take their money and run. Like
For sure.
you're not going to like just like we talked about Liberty. Like these schools that are going to have a chance to make a playoff are not going to risk the playoff over a Power Five game.
Because if you make the playoff, your payout's going to be more than getting curb stomped at their place.
Correct, and it's not worth. Which I'm using Boise. Let's not forget, guys. I know even a lot of podcasts I listened to, and even us last year. Everybody's high on Boise. They went to South Florida and got obliterated, like 34-7,
Yep.
to open the season last year, and we were all like, "Well, there goes that." So I keep saying Boise here. I'm just using them as an example, but let's not fall in love with Boise too fast off the rip. But just that caliber, the Memphis, the Tulane, the UNLV, James Madison, even. What's their incentive to go take a risk and even play a middle of the pack SEC team and risk a loss than just have a crappy schedule and try to go undefeated?
Well, and that's kind of one of the questions I have too. It's like, at what point does it go? So all these big teams they're starting to cancel against other Power Four conferences. At what point does it, like you said, reverse the flip where these group of 6 who think they have a legitimate shot, they start canceling against the big conferences. Like they start canceling those games because they want to get more of the wins too.
But see, that's the thing. Like not every school is going to be able to do that because not every school is going to have an equal shot at making a playoff. There's 11 spots for the Power Five, and there's 1 for
Well,
the
and
Group of
I
Five.
understand, and that's what I mean. Like your top teams, like Boise, like
I
hell,
mean,
like
obviously
even
Texas State doesn't
even
give a shit
like
because they're going to go play Texas week 1.
yeah. But again,
Like it's an L.
this game was scheduled what 10 years
Yeah.
ago. So,
Sure, but still, like Texas State's just happy to be here. Let's be real.
but yeah, they're gonna party afterwards regardless. So,
Yeah,
I've already
and
told
now they get to go
my.
to Sixth Street instead of the Square.
That's
So,
true.
yeah,
I've already told my wife and my father-in-law I will be wearing maroon and gold for that game, and they can all just deal with it. So
and that's fair.
yeah, I told them that's the
Um,
only time I'll do it. But if at any time Texas State comes to playing DKR, I'm wearing maroon and gold. And I'm gonna I'm gonna have to wear it. But
but they're gonna wear it. They're gonna get curb
oh
stomped.
yeah,
yeah,
it's
Gosh.
gonna be great. It's gonna be great because that I've
But
been going to those games for like 5 years now, so like know all the people pretty well. Have like talked to them all the time, and when I show up in that, it's gonna be great.
dude, Texas State's gonna have the last laugh. They're gonna have one of them big freaking checks that the golfers used to get riding home on the bus down 35 back to San Marcos,
I,
bro.
you know what I'd love to see? I would love to see an audit of where that game check, like where that money goes to, like where does it actually ending up?
To pay Kenny because he's making $3 million a year because you can't afford a freaking like you're paying your coach way too much.
Yeah,
But I digress.
that was part of the contract negotiations. They said, we'll extend your contract and give you a pay raise, but you got to play Texas for 2 years. So,
and they're paying half your salary. Congratulations.
yeah.
Is it a home and home?
No
Surely,
chance.
surely
There's
Texas
just
is
no
not.
chance.
No, there's no way Texas steps into San Marcos.
Dude, that would be, dude. If they could somehow figure out a way to get that to happen, that would be
I
Dude, they
mean,
got Tech there.
they did. Tech also was down when that happened.
Th-
I mean, didn't we
I-
get
There,
Baylor? We got Baylor there too, didn't we?
there is
No.
less than a
No, we
zero
went to
percent
Waco back to
chance.
back.
Oh, we
There
were
is
So
back.
less than a 0% chance that they go
Texas
into.
State plays at Texas in 26, at A
So
and M in
it's
27,
I was gonna say it's just a single game.
yeah,
Like it's
Yeah,
at
there's.
K State in 28, Lamar and TCU in 29. And but then after that, like you're seeing Texas State, like it's North Texas, UTSA, UT Rio Grande Valley, and then Army.
They have a
In
football
30.
team now.
Yeah.
dude, Rio Grande Valley might be a problem in 2030, honestly, dude.
Dude, no, legitimately, supposedly their NIL
Yeah.
stuff is crazy down there.
Yes, dude, it's unbelievable right now. Like the donors are like
Yeah.
cashing in.
It's literally all the Cowboy
Did
fans
we
wanting
talk,
to see wins.
dude? Did we talk about it here
Yeah,
on the
that's what it
podcast?
is.
Dude, did we talk about it here on the podcast where they're talking about they had a losing record and like their games are still sold out every single game? Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm just skirting by that. And just
Yeah.
No, one of the guys I went to PT school with, he played baseball there, and he said like literally in center field, there's just this huge tortilla factory, and you could just like smell the lard like every time they played a freaking. That's who's donating. It's the tortilla factory.
Jeez.
yeah.
Hmm.
God. I
So
mean, you'd have to give me a massive NIL fund to go down to Brownsville.
No,
Jesus.
it's not in Brownsville. It's in Edinburgh,
Edinburgh.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, yeah.
dude.
Oh yeah.
McAllen, Edinburgh, dude. It's actually a really nice town. I went to his wedding. It's actually really nice down there.
Is that
I ran
States?
track there.
Yeah, they have a Costco.
That's how you know they've made it.
I'll be honest, dude. I ran track there twice. I don't remember a single thing. I was ready to get in and out as fast as I could. It was
It
just
actually
nothing down
I
there.
mean, like let's pump the brakes on UT Rio Grande Valley. They're FCS right now.
are they?
Yeah,
They're in the
FCS.
WAC.
They're in the Southland.
They're in the
the
Uh,
Southland,
whack.
yeah. Yeah, they're in the
Well, I say,
Southland.
but the whack is FCS anyway.
uh,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Dang.
But I mean,
Well,
like their non-conference schedule, like UTSA this year, Texas State next year, Rice the year after that, and then
dude,
Texas State in 2030.
they're getting promoted to the Sun Belt.
Oh, for sure.
They're going to be D1 in a few years for sure. They're going to be
It
FBS
won't
soon.
be long. Like,
Yeah.
if they start building up their campus to whatever limit you got to reach to do it, then I'm sure they
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, they're going to do it. But yeah. So who y'all picking to make the playoff? Group of 5, group of 6, sorry. Go
Are
out
we
on the
picking
limb
that
now.
now, or are we picking it whenever we pick our 12 teams?
Mm, I guess we can wait.
Oh, we can pick it. I'll rip one off. I mean, I lost Boise on week 1 last year, so
I don't remember who I picked last year. It definitely wasn't James Madison. It might have been
I think we,
Tulane. I think I picked Tulane.
we talked a lot about Tulane, so
Do I still have
very
it in the
possible.
notes?
I doubt it.
Because they were coming off a Cotton Bowl win, weren't they?
Against
Tulane?
Yeah, last year. Like when we were talking
No,
about
they
Tulane.
lost to Ole Miss. I think they lost to Ole Miss in the.
No, that was last year.
I thought they played Ole Miss twice.
No, you're right. They lost in 25 to Ole Miss in the playoff first round.
I thought it was a rematch.
You're thinking of the USC game, Michael. That was what, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah. God, no, it was 4 years ago. It was 2022.
No,
It doesn't feel like
they
that, it
lost
doesn't
to
feel like that
Florida. It
long.
was Florida.
Yeah, they lost to Florida in the
It was
Gasparilla
Florida.
Bowl.
It was Florida. I knew it was another SEC team. I did have Tulane making the playoff last year.
Nice. Good
I had
call.
I had my 12 team.
Man, you got
Um,
Tulane right, and you had Duke as your dark horse. Dude, you were crushing it last year, man.
I did. That's about all I got because I had Clemson win. I had Clemson winning it. That was awful. Utah. We all had Penn State winning the Big Ten, so what do we
Yeah,
know?
thanks a lot, James Franklin.
Yeah, freaking. Where's he at now? Didn't he go to?
Virginia Tech.
Yep,
That's what it was. But yeah,
be
I mean,
jamming the Inner Sandman.
we can go around if y'all want. I might change it by the time we get to the actual 12.
Good chance, but I'm down to rip one off.
Yeah, it's
Let's
going to
rip
be a
it.
complete rip. I've done no research at all.
Go for it, Will. Who you got?
Dang, I didn't think you were going to call me first.
Hey, dude, you sounded so confident. So
I was trying to find their schedule to look at it real quick before I ripped them off. Let's see. Hang on. Where are we at? Where are we at? Let me get there. I'm in the wrong thing. Hmm. I was wanting to rip off UNLV because I think Dan Mullen's going to cook something up, dude. I don't know why I trust Dan Mullen so much, but I wanted to get a quick look at their schedule before I ripped them 100%. Where is the Mountain West? Right here. Yep, give me UNLV. And I don't think Memphis can rebound right off the rip. The rest of their schedule is very manageable. North Texas is going to be down with Morris going to Oklahoma State. Uh, I don't know what Mullen brought back. I haven't done any research on him, but I liked what he started. It's being year 3 now. He's a good coach. I mean, he brought Mississippi State from nothing. I think Florida gave up on him too early. I think with what Florida's had since Dan Mullen, they were probably like, maybe we shouldn't have fired him that fast. I think he's a good coach. He's ready to get back into a Power Five. So give me give me UNLV.
like it, Lucas.
I'm going Memphis, man. I think
Oh,
I
I'll
am
see you August 29th, Lucas.
absolutely. I think
Nine o'clock.
I think I think they beat Boise State too. And I think just the resources that Memphis has and puts into that program. Um,
Charles Huff, man, I'm telling you, be on the lookout.
yeah, I actually do like Memphis. I think they cruise through their conference. I think Tulane's going to be down, um, but we'll see. I mean, it's a crapshoot. You're literally guessing at this point with these group of 6 schools. Texas State could make a run, and you just don't know, especially with the Pac-12 coming in and making some noise. So I think I'll go Memphis.
Michael.
For no reason whatsoever, I'm going James Madison. They've had back-to-back years where they were, I think, 12-2. Looking at this, I feel like the Sun Belt top to bottom of the group of 6 conferences is probably the toughest one to get out of. But you're only having to play your Eastern Division, and then you have your conference championship against the Western. So like they're gonna miss. Actually looking at that West Division, it looks kind of soft anyway. I don't know. You've got, not that things really worked out great for Billy Napier, right? But you're getting a decent coach.
He was really good at this level of football
Yeah,
before.
yeah. I don't know what sort of turnover they've had. I just know the last 2 years they've played really well to get to the point that they got to. You've got a coach who's done it in that group of 5, group of 6 level. I think
In the Sun Belt.
yeah, I think they obviously have some money that they can play with in that conference. So that's who I'm going with for, like I said, no reason other than that.
That's actually a really good shout.
Should have gone first because actually James Madison as well, just because Billy Napier's a group of 5 hero. So specifically Sunbelt. So I think he's got a good shot of getting them going. From everything I've read, it's going to be a very, very young class that they've got coming in, but he's got some good pieces coming from some Power 4 schools that are really going to help out. So, and their schedule's favorable to Michael's point. So I think they got a good shot to make it run. So I don't see any reason why they don't have a legitimate shot to get back in the playoff this year.
Their toughest game is Liberty, probably.
San Diego State on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But good. I mean, that's a great opportunity. That's no different than whenever they played Louisville last year, and they hung around a little bit, but they ended up faltering. But it's a heck of an opportunity.
Going across the country though.
That's tough.
That's a
It's,
yeah.
it's very tough.
Mm.
Yeah, not 9 o'clock our time, so that's what's 7 o'clock California. So it's
Ten
Yeah,
got to
don't
be
start
o'clock their
talking
time.
time
10
zones,
o'clock their
dude.
time.
That's 10 o'clock Eastern time.
It's 10 o'clock their time.
Time
we did.
zones.
We learned our lesson.
You idiot.
I like how that whole take. That's all they took out of it was we don't know time zones. So
God.
gotta love viewers. But
Yeah.
now we'll see. We got 5 more weeks. So if you decide to change your mind at any point, then there's always a chance to change your mind.
Wait, are we in the 30 days out? We are, aren't we? Getting close. I think on Saturday it'll be 30 yeah, 30
Yes.
35 days on Saturday.
Yes, because first game is on,
26th.
I show 29th.
Yeah, it's whatever that Saturday is, right?
29th, because remember it's the Erlingus.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
that's right.
But then you also have San Jose State at USC, NC State at Virginia, and Hawaii at Stanford. There's 4 games.
All the same day.
Speaking of
So good.
USC, how hot is the seat that Lincoln Riley's sitting in this year?
Boiling.
It's gotta be
Dude,
white hot.
dude, I think they're gonna be good
Dude,
this year. We'll get into the Big Ten.
hey,
Gotta
didn't
be
you say
good.
that last year too, though?
Gotta
I
be good at some
did.
point.
I did.
Yeah, if you
But
keep predicting it, eventually you'll be right.
but dude, they literally lost almost every game by one score.
Mayava's good. Mayava
Yeah.
is good too.
And supposedly this is the best defense they've had since he's been there.
Well, let's save that for the Big Ten preview.
Sorry, jumping the gun.
I mean, we can absolutely do that.
I hate Lincoln Riley so much.
I mean,
It's because he's an OU guy.
Yeah,
they lost by 2 to Illinois on the road. They ended up losing by 10 to Notre Dame, and then they got boat raced by freaking Oregon.
Dude, you should love Lincoln Riley because he he was all show until it mattered, and then he could never figure a way out.
I mean in the playoffs, sure, but he gave Texas fits.
Yes, he did.
He gotta
Well,
kick the shit out of us every year.
he also caught Texas at a pretty rough time. So
Yeah, he did. He did leave him in shambles. I'll thank him for that. Thanks for leaving OU in shambles.
yeah, dude.
Anyway,
Will he do the same thing at USC? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll talk about the SEC too. Supposedly, that everybody talking about OU. OU had their media days today, and everybody's super high on them now after what they were talking about today.
of course they are.
Uh, I mean, defensively, they were very good last year.
Yeah, except that John Mateer was the best player on every other team that they played.
Yeah, he was also hurt for most of the year, but I mean,
We'll
So
save that
Texas.
for the SEC
I mean,
preview.
Texas. If Texas didn't have that punt returner, that's a total. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that it wasn't just that game.
So they should lost. They would have lost Kentucky if they didn't have a good punt returner. So,
yeah, true. Yeah,
oh man, we'll see. What else
So
y'all
I'm
got? What
ready.
else y'all- Yeah.
I know we were talking about this a little bit before we hopped on. Jordan Alvarez just being an absolute unit of a man. We're gonna pivot huge to MLB.
Well, dude, like when I started, I almost wanted to give my hype to the Houston Astros for like the complete disservice they're doing to Jordan right now.
I
By
was really
just
I was really close to giving a hike there
yeah.
too. I was reading an article about how, 4 years ago, we fired James Click not fired. We offered him a 1-year extension, which is pretty much a middle finger to go away after winning a World Series. And it's like because Jeff Bagwell and Jim Crane decided that nerds were annoying and didn't belong in baseball. And it's this we're just watching the slow death of the org right now. Super frustrating.
And what's frustrating too is like Dana Brown was like a hyped up guy coming in, and I just really haven't seen anything from him where I'm like, yeah, like I can see what the hype was about. Like Luno, you saw it obviously. Like Click, you saw it, but like from Dana Brown, like I have seen nothing where I'm like, yeah, he's a legitimate general manager.
Dana Brown hit on Ronald Acuna and Ozzy Albies and got them locked up to long-term super cheap deals early in their careers, and that's what everyone was super excited about. But he wasn't the international scouting director when they signed him. He just was around when they got those extensions put in place, which are super team friendly. They were super team friendly at the time too. And so, the hope that I mean, to our credit, I think the contract that Jordan signed, I can't remember if that was with Dana Brown or if that was with Click.
That was Click.
No, that was 23. He signed it in 23. Click got fired after 22. Or not fired, but didn't come back.
So it was Bagwell.
This Bagwell then.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's also a tough spot because you're like his hands are kind of tied because it's like we got to go for it, but we don't really have anything. We don't have bullets to shoot, and Jim Crane won't let him sell because Jim Crane wants to compete. It's what it feels like. I mean, from the outside looking in, right? Like, I was calling for them to tear this team down after 2022. I was like, let's reload.
Well, and so
It's
that's what
bare.
that's what I talked to my dad about yesterday. Like you talked about the demise of the organization. Like legitimately, other than Jordan, like what legitimate trade pieces are on that team right now where you could get true capital to build for the future?
Hunter
Pena.
Brown,
Pena.
Pena.
But now you look at Pena's recent injury history. So I mean, I think that diminishes a little bit. I mean,
He's still a top
Premier
five shortstop in
defender. Yeah,
baseball.
premier defender at a premium position.
Yeah.
Carlos Correa got signed by 3 different teams with nothing but an injury history,
Yeah.
and 2 teams
true,
that botched his contract because of a injury concern, and the Twins
true.
still paid him. And he's roughly the same age as Pena. And Pena's got, or at the time, Pena's got less injury history and better defender and probably a better offensive player whenever he's healthy.
Like, and I know, like, after his rookie year, like, this is kind of gross to say. Maybe Dusty Baker was right. Yainer needed some more time to to develop and cook. But you still got club control on Yainer Diaz until 2029. Like, they have some players that maybe aren't performing the great, but they have so much control left on them that you can get a decent piece back or two. Like, it's a catcher who has, when he's hitting right, and maybe you find a hitting coach who can fix him or thinks they can fix him. That's a 25 home run catcher, and like those don't just grow on trees. Like there's some viable trade chips there.
Jordan.
My issue with that is, are you ever going to get what he's actually worth in a trade? And I don't know that you do.
But Michael, is his trade value ever going to get more than what it is now?
No, it's not.
And that's my point. So what
It's
are we going
not.
to do? Just eat it? Eat his he has the team friendly contract, sure. But if we're trying to build a farm system, we got to get what we can get. Is my point. Like, and right
Yeah.
now his trade, like right now, I guarantee you there are plenty of teams that are trying to make a run that want a left-handed bat, and an elite one at that.
I don't disagree. And
Especially now that the market is doubled in size since there's a universal DH.
yeah. Well, and it's for us to realistically have because when I look at this, I want a long-term window. I want a stretch of 5 to 7 years where you've got a legitimate like pathway to make a deep run. Not we'll float around with 82, 500 and hope we sneak in. Like, that's not what I want. I want what Luno built. I want sustained success. Realistically, this team is not built for sustained success through the rest of Jordan's contract. Like, it will take 3 years to. And so that's me agreeing with you. It'll take 3 years to get us where we actually have the talent up and down the org, to do it. It just sucks. Like, I don't want to be the Lastros again. That was not it was not fun. It was not fun to watch.
But unfortunately, the way American sports are, that's the way to build.
Yeah. But you have to have the right guy at the helm. And even if we did that,
Yeah.
I don't trust that I mean, Jim Crane is turning into Jerry Jones, and I know we've said that before. If he feels like Jerry Jones light, he's over involved. He doesn't trust. Like, I would have flipped. I know you couldn't. I know you had to hang someone out to dry, right? You had to scapegoat somebody. I mean, hindsight being what it is, I wish he had just flipped the double bird and said, "We'll let Luno and
Hinch.
Hinch like sit for a year and like, all right, we got our hand caught in the cookie jar bucket. We're gonna have to blip that part out." But like, it just sucks. Like they had a really good thing, and James Click was a great hire. And again, the egos got in the way, and this thought of like baseball's more than just numbers. Like there's intangibles, which I don't disagree to an extent, but also like 1+1 always equals 2. Like they were doing something right, and rather than just trust the process, I think we made some ill-advised front office decisions. It also doesn't help that we didn't have first-round picks for 2 years. Like I think that's really what we're seeing. We're really seeing that rear its ugly head at us. That and them trading, your 2 top prospects for an aging Justin Verlander when you could have just signed the guy in the first place. 3 years ago. But I think it's time for a teardown. It sucks. I don't want to it's not fun. It really is the end of an era, right? But I think Correa and Altuve are here for the rest of their careers. I don't think anyone's taking those contracts at all. So at least we can, live on those vibes, I guess.
Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Hunter Pence when we sucked. Like, you have a Ferrari and you're parking it next to a trailer park. Like, it's just not. It doesn't make sense to keep him. It's like having Josh Hader. Hader's a chip, but
Yeah.
Hader, Jordan, and Hunter Brown.
Hunter Brown.
Like, that's it. I mean, if you really wanted to trade Pena, someone would take him. You could get something good for him, but it's still like it's not like it was in 2010 when we really just wholesale sold everything. Hunter Pence, Roy Oswalt, Lance Berkman, like I don't know that you get the same return that we got through that. And so now with the draft lottery, you're not even guaranteed the number 1 overall pick either.
Yeah.
I think that's
But
gonna be that's gonna be
if you
different
ship
now
those
too,
three
though.
players off, yeah. If you ship those 3 players off, though, I think it's at least a start.
It
He
is,
at least
and
has
you have
something to
to.
work with.
It's the first domino to fall is always the toughest to swallow. Like you just got to do it. But I've been, I've said that I know at least the last 3 years that it's time to sell, and some other people in our group chat just don't agree with that.
Well, maybe McCullers was just like it was like just the taste. Like let's do a little feeler and see how people are gonna feel about this.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, it's about time. And so now it's like, okay, like
But I think that also just comes from Lance like not playing at all for the last not playing well the last 2 years especially, but really not playing since 2022. Like we've had a guy that we've been paying $85 million to, and he's thrown I think 60 innings,
yeah.
maybe. Like I think it's as much that as anything else. Yeah, people are not going to be happy when you trade Jordan. Like it's gonna
Nah.
no one's going to be happy about
No.
it. Because that dude, like, he's allegedly 29 years old and already has 200 home runs. He could be scaring 400, which I think is kind of going to end up being the new benchmark for Hall of Fame type numbers from a power standpoint. And it's just, some of the home runs he's hit in the postseason where it's just like you just get a feeling and then it's just absolutely nuke town
Yeah.
on people. It's great.
Well, unfortunately, he's actually 38, and his knee's gonna fall to pieces in the next 3 years. So,
Time to get some prospects, boys.
It is. It is. Then I see them like apparently right now they have the best offer out for Scooble, and I'm like, what are we doing? Why? Like if we wholesale like go after it and push all of our chips in again, like I'm going to be really frustrated. It's going to be hard to justify.
because he's a rental too, right?
Yeah, he's free agent after this year.
Dude, that would
Yeah,
be
that would be wild.
such a move, like the Kikuchi move. Just what are we doing? Was that the piece that we needed to win a World Series? Kikuchi, really?
I
No,
mean,
but
Well, who,
he ended up
they
being our
turned him
best
all the way
player.
around.
He
He ended
was.
up being our best pitcher.
He
He
pitched his
really
ass off.
he did, but at the end of the day, did it
Yeah.
matter? Were we winning
No,
either
not at all.
way?
Well,
We were
Not at all.
not.
it was also the okay. This move makes sense if you re-sign him, but if you don't re-sign him, this move makes no sense at all. And then we didn't re-sign him. And he went to Los Angeles.
I mean, exactly.
Nah,
But they should have had those protections in place somehow.
Yeah.
Just crazy, crazy, crazy,
I mean, for
crazy.
what it's worth, he's not been good in Los Angeles. He had a 3.99 ERA last year and a 5.81 this year.
And that's fine. It's just the whole the principle of it. Like,
Yeah.
is that the
Well, and
piece that's going to win us a title?
it was also really weird at the
No.
time because he had a 4.75 ERA and it was a 3.66 like FIP, like so his underlying was better. But I remember when we made that move, all of us were just like, what are we doing?
I mean,
man. The problem is with the Astros is that we keep hanging on to this. Well, if we can just get healthy. Oh, if we can just get healthy. Oh, if Hunter Brown's, but oh,
It
if
feels
Christian Javier returns to what he was. Oh, now that Blanco's. But we keep
yeah.
saying this, but we can't. At some point, I'm with Lucas, and I think partly with Michael here too. I mean, just
It's
fire sale, dude. Just
it
get
feels
quit
like
sitting in this purgatory of baseball.
well,
the
I don't
worst
know if
place to
you
be is
were
in the middle.
yeah, 100%. Well, I don't know if you were old enough to remember this at the time. It feels like 2008, 2009, where it's like we're just trying to be like we're adding a bunch of players. Like we added, I can't remember the Japanese guy's name, second baseman. And it's like
Aoki? No, he's an outfielder. That's too
no,
much way later.
Matsuzaka Hideki Matsui or something. No,
no,
not
Not
Matsui.
Matsui, but you're on the right
Yeah,
track.
I know who you're talking about.
I
and
know
it's
you're
Yeah,
talking
like
about too.
he played in Colorado. He was a Rocky, and of course now
yeah.
like take that with a grain of salt. But it's like okay, like we're doing just enough to like be mediocre. And it's like I would rather just go stockpile talent instead of fighting for mediocrity. Like it feels like there's no direction when you do that. And like does it suck? Yeah, it sucks. Are you going to lose the gate? Yeah, you're going to lose the gate. But guess what? Probably 65-70% of your revenue is coming from your TV deal anyway. It's not even coming from the gate or merchandise sales. You know, it sucks that we live like. So one thing I dislike about Texas sports fandom in general is like how transient it is. It's really just like which team's the best right now. Like there was a ton of Astro stuff up here in Dallas when the Rangers sucked and Houston was great, and then it flip flops. You get a bunch of Ranger stuff all over the place, except for maybe like the deepest parts of Houston and like Arlington. But it's like there is no loyalty to either one of those clubs. It's just whoever's good at the time. It's gonna suck seeing a bunch of Ranger stuff all over again.
Yeah, we have a
Not
guy
that they're
in our
great.
we have a guy in our group chat that's like that. So
I mean,
Boy, do we.
but whenever we were at Texas State in 2010, in the early 2010s, it was the same thing. The Rangers were going to the World Series.
Yeah.
Rangers gear all over
Everywhere.
campus, and
Everywhere.
then when I was in PT school in 2017, you didn't see a single Rangers hat ever. It was all Astro stuff. Yeah, I mean that's I feel like it's natural.
It
Like
just feels
it's
like that happens more here in Texas, and I guess a lot of it has to do with the fact that for forever, one was in the AL, one was in the NL. So it's like, oh, I'll root for the Rangers as an Astros fan because they're in the AL. I don't really care, and so it's like almost like tacit fandom, and so then you just switch your caps out whenever one of the teams is good and the other one sucks.
yeah, but all the other markets you see, like, is it going to be the Yankees or the Mets? The Mets have sucked forever. Like the White Sox or the Cubs. I mean,
I don't
it's a
know.
Cubs town.
Yeah. Well, unless you're a Southsider, but if you're a Southsider, you're a damn Southsider.
I mean,
Like I
if you
feel
go to
for those
LA,
people.
what are you seeing?
Yeah. Well, right now you're seeing all Dodgers.
When have you ever seen Angels?
2002.
I guarantee you there were more. There were still more Dodgers hats running around. But yeah, been a minute.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
time. It's way overdue. I hope Jim Crane is smart enough to realize that and just, I think Dana Brown and Espada are both gone. I don't think either one of them makes it through this year. The worst thing that can happen to us is Houston goes on a tear leading up to the trade deadline. That's the worst thing that can happen. for the long term health of the club.
They
And it
don't
was
even
looking like it was moving that direction for a while.
Yeah.
they don't even have to go on the tear because the AL West is so bad.
We're
Like they
7
can
games
they
under
can
500. We're 4 games out of
I say they can
the
keep playing
West.
500 baseball and they're going to be 2.5 games out. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We needed the Mariners to be good. We need the A's to get good. Like the A's are going to be good coming up. They have a lot of good young talent. Like we need them just to get good so we can be like, all right, bad place to be
Yeah.
right now. But do we even know anything, guys? Because right now, if gun to my head, the Tigers and Royals are carving up the AL Central, and those two teams both stink. So they
They're
had
not
all
good.
the young talent in the world. They were the up and coming teams. The Tigers were like a force to be reckoned with, and they blow. So what do I know about baseball?
If the A's win the division, our playoff game is going to be played in Sacramento.
Sacramento, absolutely,
That's
Are
disgusting.
they doing that?
Like, where else are
yeah.
you gonna play?
I mean, borrow the freaking Angels Stadium. I don't
Uh,
know.
buddy, there's a chance there's two of those going on in the American League because the Rays have quietly been the best team in the East.
Yeah.
Best team in the American League, not the
League.
East, American League. Yeah.
Is our boy still the manager there?
Kevin Cash, dude.
Is he still there?
Kevin
He's
Cash
still
is.
there.
That's the best manager in all of baseball.
Me and Brian did this the week you were gone. I posed this question. I think Kevin Cash, he is the most underappreciated, but that they spend zero money. They give him no resources, and he has them in the playoff mix every year with nothing.
Literally nothing.
And he's also the longest tenured manager in baseball now.
Evan Longoria is still at third. Like,
I think he's a good enough manager. He could play third for him right now, and they'd still be good.
yeah.
He'd find a way.
True.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, he's absolutely the best manager in
Dude, yeah, I'm
baseball.
looking at
No
their
question.
roster. There's like two people I recognize on here. And
Yanni
one of them's
Diaz.
Craig Kimbrell.
Diaz,
Craig
Craig
Kimbrell.
Kimbrell, Cedric Mullins,
Wow.
Yanni Diaz.
Astro. Mullins was an Astro for a bit.
Cedric Mullins was an Astro?
Wasn't he?
No, they got the other one.
Uh,
Uh, who is the guy they got? The outfielder. See, that's how good that's how much he
Jason
helped.
Hayward?
No, the one they got from Baltimore.
No idea. Couldn't tell you.
oof.
I thought Cedric Mullins came to the Astros.
No,
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 we wanted him
there was a
bad.
big rumor about that.
Mm.
And he's been
he was
awful.
considered.
He's been awful for the Rays.
Oof, yeah, he's hitting under the Mendoza line. That's brutal.
Yeah, he's awful.
And they're still winning.
He's been awful the last 2 years.
2 years, yeah, he's been worse than awful actually.
And I mean, really it's longer than that, since 23. He's been not good since then. He hadn't hit over 235 since 2022.
And somehow with that, Kevin Cash has him the best record in the American League. With the roster you can't even name.
The dude's good.
Jake Fraley.
No, who could forget?
He's an LSU guy. That's the only reason I know
Oh,
Jake Fraley.
who the hell that guy is.
Tommy Tanks got called up.
Isn't Jake Fraley in the Astros org?
Actually, he may have been.
I think he is.
No, he's with the. It says he's on the Rays roster.
Who am I thinking of then? Hold on. Ethan Frey. That's who I'm thinking of.
Ethan Fry. Yeah,
Fry. Whatever.
also an LSU guy.
Yeah, that's the LSU I was getting mixed up with. I was like, I know we have an LSU outfielder like on the squad.
Dude hits tanks. He's a big dude.
I mean, he's had a good year so far. He's hitting 277. This is what we're getting ready to be into. Is just prospects for the next 4 years. If we're lucky, it's only 4 years.
Say hopefully only 4 years.
God,
I
some
mean,
dark times.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've watched maybe 5 innings of Astros baseball this year.
Yeah, I haven't watched much. I keep telling myself I need to cancel my Fubo subscription because the only reason I have it was to watch Astros games, and I don't watch them.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've watched more Arsenal games this year than I've watched Astros games the last 2 years combined. That's how rough it's been.
See, Will, time to buy in.
There's nothing, dude. There's nothing more Texan than being an Arsenal fan. Their logo is literally a freaking cannon.
For
No,
hype, dude.
I'm saving my new fandom for whenever hockey comes to Houston.
Yep.
Don't limit yourself.
It could be coming to Austin.
Like
It's
I
not coming
said,
to Austin.
whenever hockey comes to Houston, I'll be excited.
Hey, okay, if it comes to Austin, you're gonna jump on the Arsenal bandwagon then.
You know what, Lucas? I'll make that deal because I just
Okay.
can't. I can't root for a team in Austin. That's just no.
I figured that was
No,
coming.
no.
Yeah.
I'll root for a team across the pond before I root for a team in Austin.
There you go.
That's tough. That's tough scenes.
That's awesome.
Oh man. All right, let's wrap it up.
Yep. Next
All
week's
right.
what? What are we doing next week? Probably Big 12?
ACC.
ACC? We'll do it.
Thanks for having me on,
All
boys.
right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I did.
Anytime, Michael. Looking forward to your next rain check.
Okay. I'll see
Episode
you
two
next week.
episode 200.
Oh, okay. All right. Calm down.
Oh man. Well, thanks for everybody watching. See you like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. Until next time, we'll see you next week.